What is going on, everybody? It's JetsCentral coming back with a pretty interesting topic, to say the least. Okay, and I want to present you guys with a question. And I cannot wait to see what you guys have to say down below in the comment section, whether you like it, whether you don't like it, and also giving your reasons why. This is just such an intriguing topic, such an intriguing situation that we have as Jets fans right now. And I know you guys have heard what I'm about to say, because Jets Twitter has been talking about it. Hell, probably you guys, the Jets fans out there, have had a lot of conversations with your Jets pals, right? Your friends that are Jets fans. This conversation has probably came up within the past few weeks. So here's the question, okay, which you've heard before, but here's the question: should the New York Jets pursue running back LeVeon Bell, current Pittsburgh Steelers running back who is right now disgruntled with the Steeler organization? Should the Jets pursue LeVeon Bell in the 2019 free agency class? Take a minute, let that sink in, and really think about that, okay? Because this is one of those arguments, okay? I've seen both sides of the argument. It's one of those crazy, polarizing debates, right? Where you have a group of fans on one side of the spectrum that say, absolutely not. We're not doing that. We're not doing it. And then you have a ton of fans on the other side which say, definitely, what are we thinking? We have got to do this. Like, this has got to be the number one priority. And there's nobody really in the middle, okay, which I always find really odd. And I always like making videos on these controversial, polarizing topics, okay? So everybody knows Lev Bell, right? Le'Veon Bell, Michigan State, went to Michigan State, great career with the Spartans. Okay, great career with the Spartans, gets picked up by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He wasn't a first-round draft pick, mind you. And so, does well throughout his tenure with the Steelers, does exceptionally well, and becomes a NFL superstar. Okay, this guy, he's a top 10 player in the league. He's, at worst, a top 3 running back. In my opinion, he's the best running back just from his overall skill set, talent, and his performance that he's really displayed over the past few seasons. He hasn't really missed a beat. Okay, his production hasn't dipped like you've seen with other running backs historically. So Le'Veon Bell, in my opinion, he's the best running back in the league. But at worst, he's a top 3 running back. Okay, so this is a NFL superstar right now who is disgruntled. He's pissed off at the Pittsburgh Steelers organization, and through his eyes, right? So through Le'Veon Bell's point of view, I can see why. Because Le'Veon Bell, through his eyes, the current dispute that we have here is that Le'Veon Bell wants a big contract. Okay, he wants a big contract by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He likes playing in that city. He has great chemistry with the team, and obviously, who doesn't want to spend their whole entire career with one team? Like a Kobe Bryant, Derek Jeter, a player of that caliber. Okay, or a career of that caliber, I should say. So Le'Veon Bell, he wants this big contract. And through his eyes, he deserves it. And through a lot of people's eyes, he deserves a big contract. But through the eyes of the Pittsburgh Steelers organization, GM, ownership, they don't want to give it to him. And they make really quality points, okay? And I'm going to touch on that in a little bit. Really talking about the pros and the cons of why the Jets should or should not target this guy. But I want to explain the situation first. So Le'Veon Bell wants the contract. The Steelers don't want to give it to him. So there's two butting heads, currently going at it throughout this whole offseason. And there's been like subtweeting. There's been like a lowball offer, by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, I think it was 5 years, $70 million with only $10 million guaranteed. That's just kind of a slap in the face. Not the overall money, but just the guaranteed money. That's just kind of a low blow, especially to leak that offer to the public. It's just a low blow. So there's bad blood right now between Bell and the Steelers. There's even talks about Le'Veon Bell sitting out half of, or even this whole season, because he is so pissed off at this Steeler organization. So if Le'Veon Bell hits the free agency market, okay, should the New York Jets obtain this guy? Because theoretically, right, on paper, it makes so much sense. Le'Veon Bell, he's a top 10 player. He's a running back. The Jets haven't had a consistent run game in a really long time. He wants a big contract. The Jets are going to have, I believe, $90 to $100 million in cap room available this upcoming March. It makes perfect sense. Le'Veon Bell, hell, grew up a Jets fan, okay? So there's a lot of people trying to connect the dots here in this situation. And let's talk about if the Jets were to go out and sign this guy. Okay, the pros and the cons. The pros. He's a top 10 player. Okay, I just said that earlier. He's a top 10 player in the league. The minute LeVeon Bell signs a deal with the New York Jets, he will become the Jets' best player. When you look at it that way, when you take that angle to it, that is pretty hard to say, no, I don't want that. I don't want that as a Jets fan. When you look at it that way, the minute that he puts his pen to the paper, he's the Jets' face of the franchise, he's our best player. That's pretty enticing. Number two, we haven't had a consistent run game for a long time. I know I just alluded to that before, but if the Jets were to get a running back of LeVeon Bell's caliber, not only is he good running in between the tackles or running outside, but he is an exceptional pass-catching running back. He is the best pass-catching running back in the National Football League, and I don't think that's a stretch. The Pittsburgh Steelers offense, I don't know really what their plans are this season, but as far as Todd Haley goes, their former OC last year, they had Le'Veon Bell in certain packages where he was lining up in the slot, as the H-back, okay? So they were finding ways to get this guy the football in a lot of creative aspects of this offense. He had a lot of different roles within the Steelers offense. So he's a great pass-catching running back. He could run inside, he could run outside. And the number one most underrated quality I think that Le'Veon Bell possesses that no one talks about is his blocking abilities, his offensive IQ, where to pick up the blitz, how do I protect the quarterback. He has great blocking abilities, okay? And you don't really see that in running backs that are kind of finesse, like Le'Veon Bell. You'd see that in Zeke Elliott. He's a great blocker. You see that in more power running backs, okay? You would expect Derrick Henry to have a bigger role in the blocking department this upcoming season, but you don't see that in finesse running backs, guys that are lighter, guys that are more quick on their feet, that make men miss. Le'Veon Bell is fantastic at blocking. Okay, so really, those are the top. He checks all the boxes. Running it inside, outside, check. Pass catching running back, check. Great blocker, check. So this guy is absolutely phenomenal at everything he's asked to do. He does at a extremely high level. Okay, so Le'Veon Bell, he's going to be an upgrade at the position. He's going to give the Jets stability at this running back position for years to come. So there is a lot to like about Le'Veon Bell going to the New York Jets. You also have to factor in this. Kind of a psychological thing. You don't necessarily have to buy into it, whatever, if you don't want to. More of a mental thing. But if Le'Veon Bell has been treated like this, because in Bell's eyes, he's being treated like crap by the Steelers organization. Like, oh, they're not giving me my contract. They say I'm washed up. They say I'm too old. This and that. They're not respecting all the work that I put in to get to this point. Le'Veon Bell has paid his dues. So Le'Veon not only is pissed off at the organization, the GM and the coaching staff, but he's also, I feel like if he signs to a new team, he's going to be absolutely motivated. He's going to be like, this team wrapped their arms around me. This team brought me in when you guys, talking about the Steelers, said I wasn't good enough. So I'm going to put on for this new team. Okay, kind of like LT, LaDainian Tomlinson did with the Chargers when he went to the Jets. I think within the first month of him signing with the Jets, he got a New York Jets tattoo on his leg, which I thought was pretty cool. But anyway, Le'Veon Bell, I think, will come into camp to whatever team he signs with, whether it's the Jets or another team, whatever. I think he's going to come in extremely motivated to not only get back at the Steelers, but to show everyone, the team, his former coaching staff, the front office, the fans of the NFL, his new team, his new teammates, that he is a top 10 player in the league and he is still an NFL superstar. Okay, so that's the pros. Those are the pros of signing Le'Veon Bell. Now the cons, of signing this guy is that technically we're going to be paying him for the back end of his career. Okay, he's not 32 right now or anything like that. It's not like we're paying getting Brett Favre in the building, but we're going to be paying this guy for what he will be doing, not what he already has done. Okay, because when you look at it, Le'Veon Bell has had a fantastic career so far with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But in reality, he's done nothing with the New York Jets. He's done nothing. So if the Jets want to invest a lot of money in him, we're going to be expecting a high level of play. Does this guy still have anything left in the tank? are we really, we're pretty much going to be paying this guy like a 5-year contract, 4 to 5 year contract with a lot of money probably front loaded in the deal with a lot of guarantees. Is this guy only going to be playing hard for us for 1 season, maybe 2 seasons? Like you saw with Muhammad Wilkerson, a guy who got his money and just quit on the team. Just, I'm not trying anymore. I'm going to be laughing, whatever, give it like half-ass everything, be late to practices, be late to meetings, all that stuff. Will Le'Veon Bell be that type of player, okay, after his first year with the Jets? Number 2, will he break down? Okay, this guy, like I said, kind of linking to the first point, will this guy break down? After 2 seasons, will this guy only be like a 600 to 700 yard back? Or do we really want to invest that much money into a running back that's going to be broken down? I mean, people forget he was the lead horse back at Michigan State. He did a lot for the Spartans. Then he goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers and does a lot for them. Okay, so this guy has a lot of wear and tear. He has a lot of beating on his body, okay, physically. But yet Le'Veon Bell still has been able to perform exceptionally high over the past few seasons, which is remarkable. I can't really explain it, but anyway, that's a huge con. Will this guy break down? Okay, so we have to question his love for the game, his age. We're paying him for the future, not for the past. We have to take that into consideration, and then we're also going to be paying him a huge amount of money. So is it worth it, right? That's what every free agency signing, it's what every draft pick comes down to. Is it worth it to invest this money into this player? Okay, that's what it comes down to. So that's an argument that the Jets front office is going to probably have with ownership and the coaching staff and stuff. So those are all valid points. Okay, and the last point I want to make on the I guess the con side of the argument is this: Le'Veon Bell, I believe, is one strike away from dealing with a major suspension. He's not been clean off the field. He's had some run-ins. Now, it's slipping my mind right now exactly what he's done. I'm pretty sure one incident was with weed. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know it has something to do with like the substance abuse policy with the NFL. And I know Le'Veon Bell is on his last strike before getting a major suspension. So that's what the Steelers are taking into consideration, along with all those points I made, why they're hesitant to sign Le'Veon Bell. Because if the Jets were to sign this guy, this is worst case scenario. If the Jets were to sign this guy, not only are we putting up a lot of money and we're paying him for the back end of his career, and we have to worry about him trying and quitting on the team after 1 to 2 seasons after he gets his money, but will this guy screw up off the field? Will this guy take steroids? Will this guy, get caught with weed or something like that and have a huge suspension, and it would just become a bust signing? That's what everybody's worried about right now. So my personal opinion, to wrap things up, we're going on 13 minutes now. I know it's a long video. Thanks so much for hanging in there with me. I know I could ramble at certain points in the video, but this is how I want to wrap it up. My thoughts on Le'Veon Bell going possibly to the Jets. I like Le'Veon Bell. I really do. And those of you guys who know me know I know I touched on it earlier. I don't go for the Odell Beckhams. I'm not a big fan of them and stuff like that. But Le'Veon Bell, I've always respected. I've always liked because he's paid his dues. I personally would like it if the Jets were to go out and sign Le'Veon Bell next offseason, next March. I would love it. I think Le'Veon Bell, just the thought of him becoming our best player the day he signs, that's good enough. Okay, that is good enough for me because he will help out Sam Darnold's progression tremendously. It would take so much weight off of Sam Darnold's shoulders, and really the offensive coordinator, whoever it is going to be at that time, hopefully it's Jeremy Bates next season. It's going to take so much weight off of these guys' shoulders to have a chess piece like Le'Veon Bell, who you could line up in the pass game. You could have him run it up the middle, on the outside, pitch it to him. He could do wildcat situations or running back, wildcat plays, installed for him. And then also he's just does such an exceptional job in the blocking department. I think if I'm the New York Jets, I have money to spend. I have a need at the running back position. We haven't had a dominant running back since probably, we had those pretty good seasons with Thomas Jones and Sean Green, like back in like 2008, like 2007, 2008 and stuff. But we haven't had a star running back, okay, in such a long time. Granted, we haven't even had a superstar since Darrelle Revis, okay? And I'm talking about prime Darrelle Revis, not last season's Terrell Revis. So I would like it. I would like it if the Jets sign Le'Veon Bell. I'm not saying go give him $100 million, but I would give him a deal similar to Todd Gurley. Okay, Todd Gurley just got a 4-year extension worth $60 million with $45 in guaranteed. The deal I would give Le'Veon Bell is probably, I would probably sign him to a 4 to 5 year deal worth $57 to $58 million with 42 to 43 guaranteed. That's my initial offer to Le'Veon Bell. Then we could work it out from there. So that's my thoughts. That's my overall opinions on this matter. I would like it if the Jets were to go out and attempt to sign Le'Veon Bell. I think it would just be incredible. So let me know down in the comment section. 16-minute video here. I know it's long. But yeah, thanks so much for sticking around. Let me know in the comment section. And as always, go Jets.